My project will be on the Domestic Abuse Bill, which was published in draft form in January 2019 and is currently going through pre-legislative scrutiny. My angle will be linking this bill to the homeless issue we have in the UK. Many survivors of domestic abuse leave their home to escape a dangerous partner. But right now, not everyone fleeing domestic abuse in England is guaranteed a safe home from the council. So, under the current system, unless a person experiencing domestic violence can prove they are more vulnerable than an ordinary person would be if they were to become homeless, then they would not be defined as being in priority need and eligible for an offer of settled housing. Priority need is if you're pregnant or have dependent children, etc. So this is a huge contributor to the homeless problem we have in the UK. At the homeless charity Crisis, a fifth of the women they are working with, their homelessness has been directly caused by domestic abuse. They even had an example of one woman who was asked to provide a letter from the perpetrator to prove the violence she was experiencing. St Mungo's, around a third of the women they're working with are homeless as a direct result of domestic abuse. So people are being put into quite difficult situations, choosing to be homeless or going back to the person that is essentially beating them. A massive problem that's very relevant. So in January this year, as I said, the government published a draft domestic abuse bill to support victims. To help tackle the crime, the new legislation includes the first ever government definition of domestic abuse. It prohibits cross-examination of victims by their abusers in the family courts, and it provides automatic eligibility for special measures to support more victims to give evidence in the criminal courts, which is all very positive. I'd like to interview Crisis campaigner Hannah Gowsey, who is the Policy and Public Affairs Manager for the charity and has been trying to push this bill through for many years. I'm already in contact with her via Twitter, and we should hopefully be able to arrange a meet-up soon. I would also ideally like to speak to Jess Phillips, who is the chairperson of the all-party parliamentary group on domestic abuse. She's played a massive part in getting the draft bill to where it is today and will continue to play a role in its final construction. I'll try and contact her office via phone and try email as well. The purpose of both of these interviews, of course, would be to cover the years leading up to this bill and the people involved. How did it get to being put in draft form in January? I also want to get opinions of people who are opposing the bill and say that it is not going far enough, such as MP Harriet Herman. The draft bill only covers England and Wales, not Northern Ireland, for example, and it does pose an issue for migrant women. So I'd also focus on whether this bill is the right bill, whether it could also make things worse in some cases. Finally, the heart of the piece would be an interview with someone that has experienced this fault in the system firsthand, and hopefully demonstrate or discuss how the new bill could have helped them, whether it would have, whether it will help new people. And I'll do this by, I'll email support groups and appeal on social media, but I'll make sure that this is all done with caution and sensitivity considering the subject matter. In terms of where I think this project will do well, I think probably it would look good in The Guardian or The Independent.